And we are live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for a 4-player tutorial and playthrough of Undaunted Callisto. As always with the live streams, please let me know if you can hear us and you can see us okay. JP joining me this evening.
Hello.
Paul.
Hello.
And Rob.
Howdy.
We're going to be playing through this game and we're going to be teaching you the rules as we go. This is not going to be a game where we're going to teach you all of the rules up front. We're just going to be playing the game, but we're going to be teaching you as we go along. If you already know the Undaunted series of games, I would say 80% of this you already know. There are a few tweaks for this particular version of the game, and I will focus on those tweaks because I'm going to expect that a lot of people watching this have already played Undaunted. If you are watching us live, let me know. Let me know. Have you played any of the Undaunted games before? And if so, which ones have you played? This one is a complete break away from all of the other ones because the Undaunted series has been a World War II themed setting. We've had Undaunted Normandy, then we had Undaunted North Africa, then we had Undaunted Reinforcements, which was actually just more stuff for Normandy and North Africa. Then we had Stalingrad, then we had Battle of Britain, and now we've got this. So we are now in the year 2200 and we are on one of Jupiter's moons, Callisto. I'm actually going to read the flavour intro just to set the scene, which is in the other book. It's in the rule book. So just to set the scene, we have 2200 at the surface of Callisto. The Lunar Frontier Authority, the LFA, and a local mining branch known as the Breakers are at loggerheads over access to Callisto's rich mineral deposits. While initially an equally lucrative agreement, the LFA began to exert more power and influence over the colony. And
i.e. running it properly.
Doing it right, doing sensibly.
Doing it right.
And the relationship between the two grew more fragile and agitated.
You took our jobs.
Now tensions are at breaking point. Protests have erupted, strikes have been held, and contracts have been broken. The LFA, brackets bad guys, it actually
It doesn't say bad
No, it
guys.
says
The evil ones.
have brought in private security forces and repurposed war machines to quell the uprising, while the Breakers, brackets good guys, have begun to take matters into their own hands. The battle for Callisto has begun. So we are playing tonight at the request of Osprey Games, who kindly sponsored this video. We're playing Scenario 5. This game comes with 8 different scenarios. Each scenario is playable 1 to 4 players. This game has a solo mode built in. It has the team mode, which is the 2v2 that we're playing tonight. The main mode for the game is the 2-player mode. 8 scenarios, each one with a unique map and unique setup conditions and scenario objectives and everything else. And I'll tell you now, Scenario 5 is one of the more advanced scenarios, as you will see from this plethora of cards that we have in front of us. This is known as the supply. This is a deck building game, and each of us has an initial starting deck, which for me is 7 cards. It's really small. But what you are going to be doing is you are going to be recruiting, using the bolster ability, additional cards from your supplies into your deck. So it is a deck building game, and when units get attacked, if they get hit, you lose cards from here, but they don't go back into the supply, because if they did, the game would never end. They go into a casualty pile. So this scenario that we're playing, there is a prisoner who's obviously, I'm not going to read all of the flavor text for this, but it's really well written. It's the same guy who did the narrative for Stalingrad.
Nice.
Yeah.
So basically there is a prisoner who is here, who's been captured, wrongfully arrested.
Yeah. He was prisoner because of doing the wrong stuff, right?
Yeah, So sure. that orphanage burned itself down. We all saw it. Not his fault. Baby eating Phil has been wrongly accused.
Our objective as the Breakers is to get in to this holding cell by getting through these doors. There are some doors here and here. Rescue the prisoner and escort him to one of the escape pods. There are 3 escape pods in this game. There's one here, which is behind another closed door. There's one here, and there's one here. That's how we win. You win by destroying 2 of the escape pods. Yeah. And alternatively, either side wins if it manages to neutralise 5 units from the other side. Because at that point, as we said earlier on, there isn't enough left for you to actually really do anything. So that's the objectives for this. We have sleeved the cards. So there's 2 things here. I don't normally sleeve cards for a playthrough because it does get a little bit of reflection. However, these cards were a little bit shiny, and with the overhead lights on, it was still reflecting a little bit on the cards. So I've turned off the overhead lights, we've got all of the side lights on, and I've sleeved the cards, because I'm one of those people who is uncomfortable when I'm shuffling cards that are not sleeved, because I like to protect my games and look after them.
Yeah.
And there's quite a lot of card shuffling in this game. So I have sleeved the cards. This game does not come with sleeved cards. The other thing that I wanted to mention before we started, and I'm actually just going to zoom in on a particular part of the board with the other camera, is one thing that's new in this version of the game is these mechs. So these actually are supposed to have standees, and they are supposed to stand vertically, but because we're using mostly an overhead camera for tonight's playthrough, you wouldn't see them if they were standees. So we're lying them down, but just so you know, these should actually be stood up. They should be stood up as standees. And sometimes the mechs will get suppressed. When they get suppressed, what you do is you attach one of these red bases to their stand to show that they're suppressed. We're just going to put that red base on the unit to say it's been suppressed.
They want to see the mechs, right?
You're not going to suppress our mechs anyway.
We might do. We might do. So, what is this game? A quick summary of the game for those people who don't know any of the Undaunted series is it's a deck building game, and on your turn you will have a certain number of cards in your hand, and you will play all of those cards, and you will perform actions with those cards. I'll show you some of the cards now. So this, for example, this is what's known as a combat card. It specifically relates to a particular unit on the board, which is this one. So this is a combat counter. This is Nail Gunner from Squad C. You can see here it's from Squad C. And when I play this card, it means that I can do one of these three actions with that particular unit. So I can move it one space, I can attack by rolling 2 dice, or I can suppress by rolling 4 dice. And each of the cards will have different abilities. So for example, I also have the Ripper, which refers to this particular counter. This can also move, this can also attack, but it can control, and it also has an attack which can target armored units, in other words, the mechs. Whereas this Nail Gunner cannot attack the mechs because it's in a shaded hex. There are another type of card as well, which are, let's have a look. This card. Now, this card is what's known as a command card. And you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, Paul. How do I tell the difference between a combat card and a command card? Quite simply, a command card does not have a token on the board. So the squad leader represents a person who isn't, he's on the map, but he's not represented by a particular token on the map.
It's also a little,
and there's a little chevron in the corner as well. So this is a squad leader. This can do all sorts of various powerful things, but is not represented on the board by a token, which means cannot be killed. And there's only one of those in there. And what's going to happen, as I mentioned, is you will be recruiting or bolstering your deck with new units. And in fact, you'll notice here, I have 4 cards that are all from Squad D.
Mm-hmm.
Squad D is not on the board at the moment. So Squad D are my mates who are currently at home watching some DVDs. And I can bolster them by bringing those cards into my deck. And then when I play them, they will appear on the map. So I've got Squad C, I've got a Disruptor, and I also have Squad D off the map. JP, my good friend, what have you got?
Well, I've got Squad A, which is a good mix of people with chainsaws and mining equipment. Yeah. Hewer, blaster, and a scanner.
And they're on the map to start with.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all ready to rock. But my Squad B, which is off, they're in the pub.
Yeah.
So not watching DVDs.
Not watching DVDs.
So we've got a squad leader, we've got a nail gunner, we've got
Yeah.
a ripper and a survey tech. So pretty much more combat units doing different things.
Yeah.
Some can do recon and help move
Okay.
around the map.
Now, JP, because he's Force 1,
Yes.
also starts the game with this card. So this is the Supervisor. Each side has, we have a Supervisor, the other side has the Captain, and this has 2 abilities, Bolster and Command, but you'll notice that there is no letters after this. Whereas if we looked, let's just go back to the Squad Leader. The Squad Leader, for example, can bolster 2 cards, but only from Squad C. Whereas the Supervisor can bolster 3 cards. So if you don't see a letter after the number, it means you can bolster any cards. The Supervisor is a really powerful card. And what's going to happen is in the team game, the Supervisor is going to be swapping sides. Every time it's played, when it goes to the discard pile, it actually goes to the other player. So you've got that. On the other side, this is not a symmetric game.
We are good guys.
You have different units that do different things. So what have you got?
So I've got Squad Y, Okay, I've got a Corpsec, I've got a Scout, I've got a Stalker and Merc. They're combat units. Also have on the board already, I have a mech, the Artemis. Okay, so I have a Navigator and a Commander for the mech.
Yeah, so the way that the mechs work is there isn't just a card representing the mech, there's actually 3 different cards because there are people inside this mech. There's a navigator, there's a gunner, and there's the commander of the mech.
Yeah.
And depending on which card you play, it activates this unit, but it does different things with it. So the navigator moves it, the gunner shoots it, and the commander does various things. Okay, so that's what you've got. And Rob, you're here with similar things.
Very similar. I've got 1 mech already on the board, a second gigantic mobile cover mech in reserve, and of course your traditional good guy squad of skull-faced mercenaries,
Yes.
snipers called stalkers, and sinister-looking corpsecs, because you know, good guys.
Yeah.
Now, whilst we're here, I'm just going to take Rob's units off the board because I want to explain one thing that's new with this version of the game. We have elevation. For the first time in an Undaunted game, we have elevation. We have areas at ground level, and then anything which is surrounded by a dashed line and has got this icon means it's elevated. And what that means is whenever you are attacking to somebody at a higher elevation, you roll the d8s instead of the d10s. And whenever you're attacking somebody at a lower elevation, you roll a d12. So we now, instead of just the d10s, we now have d8s and d12s in this game as well. Now, the other thing to mention is this particular scenario, as well as having elevated areas, also has a bridge. I'm just going to move Paul's units off as well. So what we've got is we've got this bridge here. So this bridge is made up of 2 parts. The only way to move onto this bridge space is from here, which is known as the support. So you can move from here to here, and then you can move from here to here, and you can move from here to here. But it's in a space. So this is actually one whole space. It's not 2 separate spaces. It's within a space. So if you have a unit here, that is what's called the foundations of the bridge. It's like on the ground level. And if you have a unit here, it's still in the same space, but it's at a higher elevation. And you cannot move from there to there. You'll see how that works as the game goes on. Let's just make sure we've got everything back as it is.
2 Ys in the Artemis, 2 Zs in the Hades.
There you go. Now, we're going to explain the rest of the rules as we go along. I don't think there's anything else we need to explain before we start, apart from the game is played in a series of rounds. At the start of each round, each player will draw 3 cards from their deck, unless they are the current leader of that group. So JP is currently the supervisor of the Breakers. Paul is the captain of the LFA. So they draw 4 cards. Me and Rob draw 3.
Good luck.
And then what happens is the 2 leaders must play 1 card from their hand face down, and that is their initiative card. So when I was showing you these cards earlier on, you may have noticed that in the top left of these cards there is a number. That is the initiative value. So what you're going to do is you're going to play your cards face down.
I'm not going to play that one. I'm going to play this one.
We've got him thinking.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay, and then the cards are revealed.
Oh, 1.
1 and a 7. And whoever has the highest value, they have the initiative. If both players played the same number, then the side with the initiative keeps the initiative. So the LFA have the initiative. What that means is the captain of the LFA is going to take the first turn, and Paul's going to play all of his cards and do all of his things. Then JP is going to take his turn because he's the supervisor of the Breakers. Then Rob's going to take his turn, and then I'm going to take my turn. And then that is the end of the round. And then we go to the next round and we draw some cards again. So you draw cards only at the start of the round. You don't redraw at the end of your turn for reasons that will become clear later. So what Paul's going to do now is he's got 3 cards in hand.
I've got 3.
And he's going to play all of those cards. Except there is one other type of card that I haven't mentioned. These are bad cards. These are called interference cards. These can be played for initiative, but they're only ever value 1. You cannot play them for anything else. These are dead cards in your deck, and if you draw them, you cannot do anything with them. You are not allowed to play them. So why do you want these cards? Well, you don't want these cards, but you get these cards whenever you scout an area. So one of the really important rules of this game that I think separates the Undaunted series of games from a lot of other tactical combat games is you have these scouted markers on the board. So you'll notice that the board is divided into a number of spaces, And we have our binoculars in certain spaces. Those spaces have been scouted by us. So our team knows what's in those spaces and we can move into those spaces. You cannot move into a space that your team has not scouted. And to scout it, you need particular units that have the scout ability. And whenever you use the scout ability to move into a space that you haven't been in before, you put a token on it, but you get an interference card. And that represents the kind of fog of war as you're exploring into a new area and gathering new information. And those interference cards will mess up your deck and they will make it worse. But there are ways you can get rid of them that you'll see as well. Okay, right. What you going to do then?
Should we go?
Let's go.
Do it.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, bearing in mind we need those doors controlled. Yeah.
No, you want to open these doors.
I don't want to open those
Right.
doors.
Yeah,
I don't want you to go anywhere near those
open
doors.
these
I'll
doors.
open them and close it when you get close. Yeah. So I'm going to play the Stalker.
Okay.
Why?
So the
It's
Stalker
gonna
has 3
scout.
options. It
So
can
use
scout,
Scout 2.
and that's what we've mentioned. So scout is like move, but you are allowed to move into spaces that you haven't yet scouted. It's effectively the same as a move.
Yeah.
So you're
So
gonna,
I'm going to go here for 1.
which is already scouted.
I'm going to go here for
So you're
2.
scouting a new area. So that goes into there, and you gain an interference card, which goes to your discard pile.
Logging it up.
There
Okay.
you go. That's the Stalker done.
That's the Stalker done.
Next.
Now, bearing in mind that
Shall we
we've
just
got to-
explain why you've gone in there? Because
Yes.
one thing we probably didn't mention is, did I talk about the objective
No,
of
you
the
didn't talk
scenario?
about- We
Yes,
didn't-
you did get the prisoner.
I talked about the
You
objective.
didn't talk about the
This
using
this
the equipment.
particular space here, there is some technology here. There's like a control panel, and this is the space that we need to get to in order to open the doors. So we've got to control the hex. Oh, sorry, control the space. Now, that doesn't mean just scouting it. It means actually taking control of it. And once we do that, we can use an action to open one of the doors. So we need to get into this space in order to open one of the doors. Alternatively, we can actually just try to blow the doors up, but the doors are armored, which means we cannot use our normal units to do so. We have to use specialized units to try and destroy the doors. So that's why Paul's gone into that space, because he's going to try and protect that space, I think, from us getting there.
So
Okay.
I'm then going to play the Merc Y,
He's here on the
and
bridge.
he's going to do a move 1.
Okay.
So into a scouted area, so that's fine.
Yep.
So that's him, and I've got interference, so I can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. So at the end of that player's turn, all of the cards go to the discard pile. So Paul currently has no cards in hand, and now it's JP.
So I'm going to play squad leader. I'm going to bolster 2 from squad A.
Okay.
So we're going to get
Yeah. So bolster means take 2 cards from the indicated squad and put them into your discard pile.
yeah. Let's get a couple of these. Yeah.
Okay.
That's that one. And then we have Hewer.
Hewer A.
Hewer A. Now you've done a little rush there, haven't you?
You're going to rush me?
Well, tempting.
So one of the things that we have when we start is that all of JP's units started here, all of my units started here. But in this location, there is an escape pod.
Yeah.
And that escape pod, if you look here, actually has +2 defense. So any personnel units that are in that particular space get a +2 to the defense, because the escape pod is this huge big structure and we're basically hiding behind it. So as long as we stay in here, we've got lots of defense. But of course, we don't want to stay in here because we need to get out.
So we are going to move in.
You're going to move into there, and you can move into there because it's already been scouted.
Yeah. And then I have an interference, which is absolutely useless, so I can't play it. And
Yeah.
that goes in my discard pile.
Yep.
And that's me done.
Okay, over to you, Rob.
So I will play a Merc and move. So my Merc moves to here, spreading out.
Nice.
They're using different tactics than
Yeah.
they used this
Yeah.
afternoon.
I like the cluster on the bridge and get shot.
I think that was
So
a good
I'll
one.
use my Sergeant to bolster, and I will add a Stalker and a Merc.
They've learned.
So
Oh,
they've
nice.
adapted.
Yeah.
It's like the
Nice.
ball.
It's like AI.
Other
Yeah,
interference.
interference.
Okay.
It's a slightly better starting hand than last.
Yeah, better than last time.
So you moved, you bolstered, nothing new there. We've seen how those actions
Yeah,
work.
that's good.
Right.
What have you got?
Well, unfortunately, yeah,
Pretty similar to me.
it's not the best. It really isn't. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Ripper C, and we are going to move 1, and we're going to move into here.
Makes sense.
And then I'm going to play Nail Gunner C, and we're going to move Nail Gunner C onto this elevated area here, so that we can attack things here, not at a disadvantage. And unfortunately, I've got an interference as well. So we all suffered with a little bit of interference. Right, that's the end of the first round. The leaders of the respective factions have stayed the same because the captain and the supervisor were not played, but now they are going to be played because our decks are so small.
Yeah.
Either the first or second hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
4.
Yes, Jordan, who's in the chat. Jordan is from Osprey Games and was one of the developers in the game. So thank you very much, Jordan, for joining in. And if anybody has any questions about the release date or anything like that, I think Jordan might have already said that information. But I believe America are getting it a week before us. I think that's the case.
That's interesting.
Communication between teammates is allowed as long as it's open.
No notes under the table.
No.
Secret discussions.
Alpha, Bravo,
Yeah.
17,
Engaged tactics.
33, 24, 32.
Maneuver.
Okay.
Oscar manoeuvres. Oh, what do I play for initiative?
Yeah. Good question.
I want you. I kind of want all of them.
I want all mine. Yeah. Yep.
So, I think we're going to have.
Yeah. Go.
Because the captain and the supervisor is the most powerful card. It's also 9 initiative.
It's
Yeah.
9.
So if you play it, you're probably going to win initiative. But then,
You don't get the.
and
don't
but
get the
sometimes
benefit.
when you really need it, I've won games before because I got initiative on a turn that I absolutely needed. Right, initiative cards are
4.
1.
okay. We have the initiative, so those cards go to the discard pile.
Lovely,
you go.
lovely. Right.
Yeah.
I think.
Ah, yes, a few copies of this were released at Gen Con, so some people do have the
Oh,
game.
right. Yeah.
Let's do scanner. I'm going to scout 2.
Okay, so we know how scouting works.
Scout 1. Already got a token.
Yeah, you're going to go into there. Hey,
Let's contest it a little bit.
have some interference.
Oh, thank you. Into my discard pile. So that is that one.
Derek is asking, can new players jump into playing this without having played any of the Undaunted games? Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a completely standalone game, and yeah, the rulebook is fine. You don't need any prior knowledge whatsoever to play the game.
I'd only played Normandy
A
so long ago that it might as well have been my first play again. Right, Hugh, I'm going to move in.
Oh,
Ooh,
that area
what's
is
happening?
getting...
What's happening?
Yeah.
Hey.
And then good old supervisor.
So, bolster 3 or command 2. So, the other thing that the supervisor can do, we'd already mentioned that it can bolster 3, which means any 3 cards, and you can bolster your teammate, and those cards go to your teammate's discard pile. The other option of the supervisor is command 2. Command 2 is draw 2 cards. You can either draw the 2 cards yourself, or if your teammate hasn't had their turn yet, you can get them to draw 2 cards, or you can draw 1 each.
What are you thinking?
Well,
What have you got?
I'm okay with what I've got.
Okay.
I would say because this game has already played out started differently than the
Oh, yeah.
previous one.
Yeah.
But because we've got, and I'm just going to zoom in on it here. Yeah, because we've got this area, which is if we're going to open these doors, one way we can do that is taking control of this area
Exactly.
and then basically playing a card to open the doors.
There's a chance of that if I
you-
command.
Yeah, if you draw 2 cards, you might get these 2 and you might be able to have an attack on that.
Exactly.
So I would say you draw the 2 cards.
Okay.
Now, JP doesn't have any cards in his deck. At the moment you need to draw a card and your deck is empty, that is when you shuffle your deck, shuffle your discard pile, make a new deck, and then you draw the 2 cards.
See what we get, chaps. 1, 2.
Interference.
Be good if it was.
Not
Do you
amazing.
need to command?
I could do with at least 1 bolster, just so I can get one of those.
Okay.
That's quite tough.
Assuming you've got a bolster roll.
I was you.
Could go for 7 attack on that.
Do you have a drone?
Or I can get him on there.
I don't have a drone.
You've got it.
2 would let me get my commander and my drone now, which could be
That would be good. Does it?
Let's
scouting?
try and attack.
scouting, and it lets me inspire and remove my own mech as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're having our first attack in the game. There are actually 3 different types of attack. There's attack, suppress,
Yeah.
and the LFA have one unit that can do something called pulse, which we'll see later on. But
Maybe.
the suppress is basically you're showering the area with bullets and you're trying to suppress that unit. You're not going to cause any damage to it, but you might lock it down for a turn. Attack is where you're actually trying to cause lethal damage. So let's have a look at this card. The blaster actually has 2 different attacks. This here is the range. So it can do 1 attack, which is against personnel at a range of 2, but it's actually an area attack. So it would actually attack all personnel in a space at range 2. Or alternatively, if you are at range 0, you can attack armored units with 3 dice. So the blaster is one of the units that can attack personnel, or it can attack armored units. Which of those attacks are you going to use?
Well, I can't use the 0 range.
No,
There's nothing in there.
because the blaster A is here.
Yeah. So my choice is basically, well, it's a few choices, but I think I'm going to go for the Merc.
Okay.
The reason why is you get a cover bonus here. The
Yeah.
Stalker has 6, so
Okay.
that would make it quite difficult because of the range.
Yeah.
And also you're firing up.
And I'm firing up,
So
it's
it's
just
you're
not
actually
possible.
attacking this whole space.
Yeah, 1,
But
2.
there is only 1 unit in that space. So the way that attacks work is that you work out the defensive value of the target unit. The defensive value of the Merc is 5.
Yep.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. There.
Yep.
5. Then you add on any cover bonuses for the space that it's in. There aren't any. And then you add 1 for each space of range. And if we just move down a bit, you can see that the blaster is here. So the range is 2. 1, 2. So it's actually 5, 6, 7. So 7s are needed to hit. And because it's firing uphill, you roll a d8.
Yeah.
Now, one rules change that I will mention here, which is different from all of the other Undaunted games, is it used to be that if you rolled a 10 on the d10, you automatically hit. That rule is gone now. So if you needed a 9 to hit on a d8, you can't actually hit it.
Just don't do it.
So you need 7s.
7.
It's two dice.
2 dice.
7s needed.
No,
No.
that was not good.
Good. Oh, that's
He fell
marvellous.
over. He
That's
fell
marvellous.
We will
I mean, he was
He went
it was a
ping.
shot.
We'll explain what happens when you do score a hit when it happens.
Right.
Now, because JP has played the supervisor, as soon as the supervisor would go to the discard pile, it instead goes to my discard pile, and I am now the supervisor.
My other car was in interference.
Right.
People are wondering. I did draw 2.
It's
One of them was
now
rubbish.
Paul's go, I believe.
Yeah. So I'm going to play the captain.
Oh, right. Bolster or
So
command?
this is going to be bolster. So we
So
can. It's
3
any-
cards.
So it's 3 cards, and you can bolster 2.
So I'm going to add my
What a generous
commander-
captain you are.
Commander for my second mech,
Yeah.
and I'm going to add my drone as well.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to bolster 1 card?
I'm going to bolster 1 card. I'm going to bolster the commander for my mech as well.
Right.
And then the just because you've got into my face.
What,
and
me?
Yeah, you. Then I'm going to play the stalker.
Okay, so this stalker here,
Is going to attack.
Do you want to have
okay,
it?
and that attack
Okay,
is 2
the
dice.
Attack is 2 dice.
So who are you going to hit?
I'm going to hit the hewer.
So the Hewer has a defense of 4, but there is a cover bonus in that space of +1. 5, but there's no range difference. And you're rolling d10s because it's at the same elevation. So is it 2 dice?
2 dice.
2 dice needing 5s. I think we're going to see a hit. Yes,
Yeah.
we've seen a hit. So what happens when you take a hit is, first of all, you look in your hand to see if you have a card of that particular unit. Doesn't have any. Then you look through your discard pile
God, yeah.
to see if you have a card of that unit.
Who was it?
Hewer
Hewer.
A.
You
do.
A.
If you do, that's that card gone. It goes into a casualty pile. You're allowed to look at your own casualty pile, but your opponents aren't allowed to look at it. If it wasn't in the discard pile, you look through your deck and you take it out from your deck. And if you couldn't find it anywhere, then that unit is neutralized. You remove the counter from the board and you remove all of the cards from the supply. So when you're playing this game, be very careful, because if you don't bolster, you only start with, I think, 1 copy of each card.
Yeah.
So as soon as it's taken a hit, if this unit now takes another hit, if you didn't bolster it, it's gone. So you do need to bolster if you want to try and keep your units alive.
Of course, the more you bolster, the more you clog.
The more you clog your deck up. Exactly. Right. You're all done?
I'm all done.
And you
Okay,
were,
I'm not.
you still got
I'm
more?
still going. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Now, commander of the Artemis,
So the commander of the Artemis, which is
Okay.
the commander of this mech,
this mech, he's going to bolster.
but he can only bolster
Two.
from that mech's cards.
Yeah. So I'm going to have another navigator.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a gunner.
Right. So this mech is starting to
Power up.
power up and come to life.
Yep.
Okay, my go.
Kill
Now
it then,
then.
don't we?
Because I played the captain.
That moves over.
And you go.
Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a card with recon. So I mentioned earlier that there are ways in which you can get rid of interference cards, and this is it. This is what the recon does. So with recon, you take an interference card that you have in your hand and you remove it from the game. So this is gone. This has gone from the game completely, and I get to draw a card as well. So yeah, recon is amazing because it gets you cards out of the game. If you are an existing Undaunted player, you may remember that the scouts also have an ability that allows you to put interference cards into your opponent's deck. That has gone. That does not exist in this particular version of Undaunted.
Okay.
Right, so what am I going to do now? I am going to... I'm going to play the Disruptor. Now, the Disruptor doesn't belong to any particular squad, which means I can't inspire it, I can't bolster it, or anything like that, except with a generic bolster.
Call sign Boomer.
Yeah,
Pretty much tells you what you need to know.
but we are going to move the Disruptor to here, which is less defensive and is closer, but I think we're going to do it. Right, then I'm going to play Squad Leader C. And I am going to bolster two cards from C.
Mhm.
And it's going to be, surprise, surprise, Survey Tech
Mhm.
and the Survey Tech. Because
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah,
good in this
so good.
particular scenario
For reasons.
for reasons.
And
And that,
I'm very, very obvious when
Yeah.
he charges up the nearest door.
He goes up to the door and goes.
He's always door be gone.
Yeah.
Door be gone 5,000.
the Survey Tech is a card which is able to destroy these doors and is also able to scout. It is probably the best unit in the game for this particular scenario, I think. But we will see. We will see.
But they're wise to it this time.
Put pressure on it, don't we?
They're wise.
Rob,
Right. I'm going to start with the Stalker who's going to recon, burning an
so
interference.
same thing.
Yep.
Burn the interference card out of the
Now,
game.
Because my draw pile is empty, I now
Get it,
shuffle.
Yep.
But I have the captain in here, so
Okay.
could be
Yeah,
lucky.
this could be it. This could be good.
Equally, we could be completely unlucky. We shall see. We draw. Oh, very nice. Right. Then I will play my commander for the Hades, who is
Okay.
going to bolster. He's going to bring his the two navigators, Axil and Iha,
Okay.
online to actually
Yeah,
try
nice.
and get the deck, get it moved.
Yeah, gonna go. Yeah.
And then I will activate my sergeant. And I could bolster the Zeds, but instead I'm going to inspire, which means I get to reactivate something I've already activated.
So the Inspire ability we've not seen before, but it's Inspire one card from Squad Z. What that means is Rob can pick up a previously played card from Squad Z back to his hand and then play it again. So it's basically Inspire or shouting at them.
Yeah. Do it again.
Do it again.
Do something different.
And the only thing you can inspire is this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you put that back in your hand, then you play it again. And what you're going to do with Stalker Z.
I think
Pushing
Stalker
forward,
Z.
aren't we?
I'm trying to work out. I mean, the Hewer's sort of taken a hit. We could try and finish him off. Or we can just start hammering that Disruptor before it starts trying to shut us down. But they are more spread out this time.
We are.
Could easily have a go for the Ripper, who's currently on low ground and in the open.
Well, you could actually scout forwards so that you're actually splitting these two up.
Get access to there. Although the Hades can scout on its own.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
One thing that we
Okay.
learned from our practice game this afternoon is these mechs are very different. They have different weapon assignments. The Hades is actually, its weapon is range 0, is that right?
It needs to get up close.
So yeah,
Range 1, I think. Yes, it's range 1.
It's range
supposed to be
1.
short range.
Okay.
It's a
Centurion.
pulse, we can send you flying as
Yeah.
well.
Hmm.
I think the Stalker is just going to.
The disruptor was all about suppressing, isn't it?
yes, yeah. Its main attack is the suppress.
Yeah, I think my Stalker's going to try and take out your Disruptor.
Okay, so this Stalker here, so it's attacking at the same level, so it's D10s.
6, 7, 8.
Is it 2 dice?
2 dice.
2 dice. And it's 5, 6, 7, 8.
Needing 8 plus.
And it's a shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill.
No!
It's a shame.
I hid behind that bottle of lemonade.
Duck.
Yes.
Quack, quack.
Good.
That, I believe, is the end of the round.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, round 3, I think.
Now I draw
Draw.
more because I'm now the commander.
Yeah.
The captain. 2.
Well, here we go.
Oh dear.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4. He dared. And we've currently got the initiative.
So if we play the same number, you also go first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm playing my drone, which is an 8.
4.
Okay, so
You have the initiative.
we have the initiative.
Good.
So I shall start by playing my commander for the Centurion.
Okay, so the Centurion isn't on the map at the moment, but what Rob's been doing is he's been bolstering cards from the Centurion. And the first time you play a card for a unit that isn't on the board, you put it on the board in the zone where it starts. So the Centurion is a massive mech, which has got 6 armor, but it also provides an extra 2 defense to any personnel units which are in its space, because it's so big they can hide behind it. And when it comes into play, you can immediately do an action with it. So it isn't just a card to put it into play, it puts it into play and you get to do an action with it.
I think for this one, I'm actually going to move it up 1.
Oh,
So now providing support to the
Yeah,
Merc who's in
thanks.
that area.
Yeah.
So that Merc is now protected by hiding
Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
legs of the
nice.
Centurion.
Okay. And then I will play my Stalker again. So
Stalker Z.
Stalker, and he'll have another go at the Disruptor.
So 2 dice needing, what was it?
8
Eights.
again.
yeah.
No!
Yeah.
Oh, shame.
Yes.
And my Merc will have a go. And I
Where
think
is your
my
Merc?
Merc,
Merc
my
is
Merc
here.
will move to there. And I think for this one, the Merc is going to have a shot at the Ripper.
Yeah.
So the Ripper is 4 defense with no protection,
Yep.
but it is 3 range.
Yep.
So you need
And
7s.
D12s.
7 on
Oh, it's D12s
Yes,
because you're higher. How many dice?
Just a 1.
Just the 1.
Yeah, the Mercs are...
Rubbish.
Yeah, and they
They're mercs.
have to get up close and personal.
No.
Oh, it is.
Hey, that's the way to do it, though.
So, is there a Ripper C in my hand? There is not. Is there one in my discard pile? There is not. So I'm going to take out a Ripper C from my deck.
Yep.
And I'll shuffle my deck.
Hey,
Don't
the
think he- don't
Centurion
think he's
Cuddlebot
bastard, though.
5000 is advancing to provide loving hugs to the Mercs and Stalkers and protect them from the mean language coming from over there.
I will love you to death.
Do not fear, I will love you.
Okay. Right.
Right.
Me, I believe. Stop exploding, you cowards! Fight back! Right, let's play. Let's play the supervisor,
Yeah.
Right.
and I think I'm going to bolster.
Bolster
I
stuff.
think bolstering is what we're going to do. I'm going to bolster a Ripper C.
Who steps over the corpse of his maid.
Yeah.
I am going to bolster.
It's kind of hard to take an enemy army seriously when their commander's called a supervisor.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Cut our tea breaks down by 10%.
I'm going to take a disruptor. And do you want to bolster something?
Yeah, go for it.
What do you want?
Go for that and allow me to bolster more with these.
Yep.
So let's do that.
So, right. Then I'm going to play Survey Tech,
Survey says,
and we're going to move to here.
watch out, boys.
Mm.
And then I'm going to play the Squad Leader, the Squad C, to inspire the Survey Tech, to say, get it, move on.
Ouch.
And I play it again, and I'm going to Scout 1, moving into here.
Ouch.
Here we
Here
go.
we go.
Here we
He's
go.
on the go.
Here we go.
And then the Supervisor switches to yourself.
Kill.
That is my go. Done.
Right.
Paul,
Okay.
you're next.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've not drawn very well this time.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
That's such a shame.
So I'm going to play the Merc. for attack 1
Very murky.
on
Murky.
Who pops up behind
Yeah,
Cannibal
yeah, he
5000.
pops out from behind the leg.
Yeah.
Okay,
So what's he
and
gonna do?
he's going to attack the Hewer.
Yeah.
So it's at the same level. The
Yeah,
Hewer has a
same
defense of 5 and
Four,
at range
five,
1, so you need 6.
6.
So 6.
Come on.
Come
Off
on.
it. Yeah.
And I'm afraid that is it.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, yeah, a lot of interference.
That is it.
I think I'll control.
Oh, so control.
Oh,
We've not seen the control action
I
yet.
wanted
So
that.
basically,
I wanted that.
yeah. So control is you take control of
Very
the
good.
space that you're in, and you can do it. So the rules have changed from Undaunted Normandy. As long as nobody controls it, then it doesn't matter who's in there. You take control of it. However, now that we control it, now that the breakers are in control of that space, the LFA cannot take control of it unless we don't have any units in there. So you cannot take control of a space that is controlled by your opponent unless your opponent doesn't have any units in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good thing is, because we now control that space, on a future turn, you can just play a card, either Hewer or Scanner, and instead of doing any of the actions on that card, you say, I'm going to open one of the doors.
So here,
Oh, don't believe it. How did you end
Wow.
up with those two?
So you can open this door, or you can open this door, or you can...
I think this one's a good one.
Once the door is open,
Gracious
that's
me.
it. It can't be closed. But while I'm talking about doors, you cannot fire through doors, even when they're open. So I think thematically, I think they represent like there's a doorway and you can't shoot through the doorway.
Yeah.
So you drew 2 Hewer cards.
That's what I was
on the
like,
side.
please don't do anything.
Oh, but you also had a squad leader as well.
Yeah, so I pull one back. So I can inspire one of these.
Yeah.
And then
Play it
I'm
again.
going to play it for an attack of 2.
Okay, so the Hewers are better at attacking
Close
at
up.
close range.
Because they've got big
Yeah.
buzz swords.
6, 7.
It's 2 dice.
7.
7's needed.
Well, that's not guaranteed, but let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, double hit.
Way.
One.
Just get, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing. That's the thing to note.
Fix.
It doesn't matter how many of your dice hit; it only counts as 1 hit. So, Stalker Y from your hand,
Y. No, nothing in hand.
from your discard pile.
Discard pile.
Discard pile. First casualty.
There you go.
Poor Millie Sanchez. She was too
Millie
late away from
Sanchez.
retirement. About to marry her fiance.
Ouch.
Is that it?
That's
was
it.
big
End of the
move.
round.
Yeah. big
Okay.
turn,
So
that.
the leaders for this round is, I believe, you
Yep.
two.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
2, 3, and I have to reshuffle as well. Yeah, both can reshuffle.
So what we've got here is we've got this internal prison section. There's an icon on there. That icon means that mechs cannot go onto these spaces. And there's an escape pod here as well. Mechs cannot go onto there. So there are certain terrain restrictions based on the map that you're using. And Sanjay makes a point that losing a card from your hand when you haven't had a turn hurts.
Yes, stings.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
That you know,
Yeah.
being dumped by my girlfriend when I was 16, that's nothing
Yeah.
compared to losing a card from
Yeah,
your
over
hand
that. You can get over
before
that.
you've had a turn. Which is why the initiative can sometimes be really important.
Yeah.
Because you get that shot in, they lose the card from their hand,
Yeah.
and suddenly they can't do the thing that they were going to do.
Yeah.
I'm all emotional now.
Yeah.
I'm having memory flashbacks. I don't think I had a girlfriend when I was 16. I was too busy playing D&D with my mates. Right, initiative.
Oh, you ready?
1.
Uno.
Yeah, that's what it's
Which
up.
means
You-
you
you
keep
win
the
on a one.
initiative.
Yeah, well
Keep it.
done.
Oh,
Well done.
Initiative in all 1. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So,
That's annoying.
Peter makes a good point as well that you two must have been going to stormtrooper training class.
yes. We're going well so far. You guys tried turning on the laser sight. So I'm going to first of all play the Centurion Commander,
Okay.
who's going to add Navigator and Gunner to my
Uh-oh.
pile.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Power up.
I think they're going for a killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going for the
Objective.
5 kill.
I
win.
think so.
Yeah.
I'm going to risk using the captain to do a command to draw some more cards.
And you're
I'll
gonna
draw
draw
some
both cards?
casualties, Yep. How are you looking for your turn?
It doesn't swap just yet.
Oh, sorry. Are you
Only
happy
when you
with-
get to the discard.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be doing some suppressing, I think.
Cool.
Otherwise we
So
won't
I'll
get
draw
suppressed. Yeah.
2 more. There we go. Right, then I will play
I think if
my
you want to open the other doors as well, maybe.
H commander to allow my
I think I've used all my healers.
Hades
There's
to
the
move,
scanner.
and my Hades is going to move to here.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we don't want that other door to be open at the back, do we?
Yeah.
Fine. Oh, yes.
Take my out.
Sorry, yes.
Another pod here.
There's an escape pod
I
there.
was thinking they could blow it up, but yeah. Shorter distance.
Merc is going to open up. Survey tech is
I'm on it, I'm on it.
9, isn't it?
This
Yeah, from my Merc.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
But survey tech. So my Merc is going to open up on the survey tech.
Okay. So it's D12s because you're higher.
Yep, D12 leading a 9.
1.
Are you didn't suppress him?
They're
Shoot attacking.
Oh.
Mercs. They don't
No,
do
no,
the
dude.
They don't do ult
Good.
suppress thing.
Oh, rolled off a 12 and onto an 8.
And then we will use the Sergeant
He's got a hate.
to inspire again.
Love
So
it.
inspire the Merc and
Do it
then
again.
shoot him again.
Can't possibly fluff.
Oh,
snake
so
eyes.
Yeah. Not going well. And then the captain goes.
Then the captain moves, and then the token moves, and
Right.
we have the look of the dice on our side for the moment.
We have the moment, yeah, but they're mobilising.
It's now my go. No, it's your go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you've got scanner.
No. Not yet. Remind me what Pathfind.
So Pathfind
does.
is an ability that we haven't explained yet, and it's unique, I think, to
Just-
one particular card
Yeah.
that we have. So what Pathfind is, the way I like to describe Pathfind is, imagine it's like a move. Well, it's like a scout, but nothing actually moves. So with Pathfind, what you do, and it explains this clearly on the back of the rulebook, is you add scouted markers up to
The
however many
distance.
it says, which is 2,
Yeah.
in contiguous spaces from a targeted friendly combat counter space. So, for example, if you've got Pathfind 2,
Yeah. They'd have to be off a B.
oh, is it Pathfind
Yeah.
2 on B?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, so
But if it was B, I
you
could
would
have
choose
gone
B
1, 2.
and choose 1, 2.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're scouting areas without anything actually moving.
Okie dokie. That's
So we're
not
thinking-
a problem.
So it's Pathfind B, is it?
Yeah, it's because
I'm
I've got the
going
B
to
squad
take
leaders.
five
I think I probably should
Right,
bolster
get
some
my
B.
find
Okay.
this way.
I think it's maybe just try and slaughter them. Because
So-
otherwise he's just going to run in there and
Bolster.
I don't know if we're going to
2
put him
from
down,
B, so I'll
kill
take-
everyone else.
So squad B is not in the game yet,
No.
but the squad leader has turned
Okay.
up and gone, where is
I
everybody?
should get the guys from the pub and let's get cracking. So I think
Yeah,
a nail
got
gunner.
Because I think Paul's pretty much emptied
Let's get a
all
couple
of
of
his
nail
survey
gunners.
sex, so he's
He's
killing
gonna
that-
do.
killing
He's
that
gonna.
unit.
He's gonna go straight in
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So we
Killing that
can
unit is
kill
going to be
that.
difficult. So the more
Okay.
other things, I don't think we're going to be able to kill him just because he's got so many cards of it.
Right.
Shots if we can make it, but otherwise taking out the rest of them
Mm.
means we'll win from we win by default.
That's 2 away, isn't it?
From where?
From here.
Yeah. Yes.
1, 2.
Yes.
Still, that's 8 though.
And you're rolling the 8s.
Yeah, I'm going uphill. That's bad. I could pop onto the platform.
Yeah,
but,
stalkers are sneaky because they've got like camouflage gear and stuff.
but I do leave these here. Just leave that undefended. I move out. So if they can attack the escape pod,
They can attack the escape pod. It's got its armor value.
Even if I've got
6.
people in.
And don't forget it's
Yeah.
armoured. So that's why we can't just shoot it with the stalk. We've got to
You
get
need-
them-
you need the right
You
thing,
need,
yeah,
you
fine.
need the heavy duty
right, he's going
damage.
to pop up here then.
Okay.
Just to get a bit of
Yep.
elevation, and that is me
Okay.
because I've got an interference.
Right. Let's get the Merc out. So Merc Y is going to attack Scanner.
What?
This is
Because you think
5, 6.
6 defense.
So 6, 7.
Oh, 7 for the range. Yep.
7.
It's a miss.
I just did this.
Sergeant,
Make sure
the,
you stand away.
the sergeant shouts at him and says, "Get your gun out, boy!
Sorry,
Get your, just
You're gonna do it again.
turn it on! Turn it on!
You have been victim of the dice rolls.
Come on!
There you go.
Yes, more like it.
So just to be clear, when you inspire a unit, you pick the card up, you can play the card again. You do not have to do the same action again. We've been doing that so far, but you can choose a completely different action if you want. So nothing in your hand, anything in your discard pile?
No.
But in your deck.
In the deck.
Okay, and then you shuffle your
That
deck.
was the only one. By the looks of it, it looked like the last card.
Got one
It
more
may or
card
may
left.
not be.
You confirm nor deny.
Okay, so the gunner
So this is the gunner from the Artemis.
and the Artemis.
What does the Artemis do? It's got a range of...
So it's got a range of 0 for attack.
Oh,
It
okay.
can suppress.
It can
It's
suppress.
suppress 3.
We haven't seen any suppressing yet.
No.
We did in the last game.
So I think I want to suppress
Okay.
this disruptor. It's
Yeah.
pretty hard.
So when you do a suppress, you make the attack as normal, but instead of causing an injury, you just flip the token over to the other side, and then it's suppressed.
It's like a stun, isn't it?
And you're going to do
Okay,
that.
so I'm going to do 3.
So 3 dice, and it's at the same level.
So you are 5, 6,
6,
7,
7, 8. 8's needed.
Come on. Come on, gunner.
Remember to exhale on the shot, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So what happens is we flip it over, it's suppressed. Now, what does a suppressed unit do? The next time I play a card for that unit, all I do is I flip it back. That's it. I don't do anything else with it. So it's basically knocked it out. It suppressed it for a turn.
It's me.
Right. So
Callisto,
I'll play Disruptor to
Bring
it
it back
back.
up
get it
again.
back over.
But it means we haven't been shot in the face with
Yeah,
disruptor,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
That was worth it, wasn't it?
I'm going to play Survey Tech C
Watch out.
to Recon away in interference
Ooh,
and draw a new card.
We've got lots of C these days.
And then I'm going to
Lots of
play
C.
Survey
Yeah,
Tech
it's
C
Yeah,
to
so many of them now.
scout into there, which gets me another interference.
Yeah.
Closing in, boy.
Right.
Closing
Okay.
in.
Next
Yeah,
round.
round.
Leaders Q2, isn't it?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3,
Okay.
4.
So another option that I will mention now for those people watching, and as a reminder for all of us here, there is another action which is commonly misunderstood in the game, and not many people do it, but it is very tactically sound, and that is you can hunker down. So whenever you play a card, instead of doing any of the actions on that card, you can simply put the card back into your supply. And you might think, well, why would I want to do that? If you think about this as a deck building game, the bigger your deck is, the less chance you have of drawing the cards that you exactly need at that point. By hunkering down, you are basically thematically telling units to just, you hunker down, you stay there, don't do anything. And by taking those cards out of your deck, it means you're going to draw the actual cards that you need. In the game that we played on Sunday, I won the game because I hunkered down with about 3 of my units over here. And I basically just got rid of all of those cards out of my deck so that the only cards in my deck were the units that I needed to rush and get in the prisoner.
of course.
It can be dangerous because by removing the cards from your deck, as soon as they take a hit, they're dead. But it was a risk that I took, and it just worked.
Okay.
Ready?
Initiatives.
7.
1.
We have the initiative. Okay. But you used a 7 to get it. Yeah.
Should we open another door?
So what are our options? Our options are to start hitting some things. I think open the other door.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on. So we're going to play Hewer because we control the space. We're going to open this door.
Yep. Now, how are you doing for your hand?
I'm okay,
Yeah.
but
Would you like some more?
more
Wanna
cards
share?
are always
Should we do 1 on 1? See what
good.
happens?
Yeah, 1-on-1's good.
All right. Commands. 1
1 and
each.
2, so 1 each.
All right. Right.
So mechs can go here.
Mechs can go there. They just cannot go into
Yeah.
the rooms.
Let's do Blaster.
So Blaster A, who is here,
Yeah. Let's go for this Merc.
you're going to go for this Merc. So
Mhm.
it's range 2, so it's same level.
Same level. Hit on 7, right?
In fact, it's an area effect, but there's only one personnel
Yeah.
unit in there. So
They've been wise and split up their units.
Mm-hmm.
Myth.
nope.
You're not the only ones who can't hit anything.
Need to put some ammo in.
I do have another Hewer. So I could
Open the other
I
door.
could, or I could just get stabbing.
So what? He's got 2 attack at close range.
Just
The
get-
Stalker would be a 7.
Yeah, still hard though.
I think open the other door.
Yeah, let's get it done then.
Okay, that's interesting. Right, that's all the doors opened.
Let's get it done. Oh, you will need
I need that, don't I?
that one. Yeah,
Cool.
you got it.
Right, Paul.
Yeah, this is not looking so great now. So I am going to play the commander of the Vulcan, which brings the Vulcan.
Okay, so the Vulcan's
into
not
play.
entering the game. So what's the Vulcan then? It's another mech,
So it's not a mech.
but what does the Vulcan do?
It's a proper range damage dealer.
Range damage dealer. Okay.
The others sort of
Yeah.
range suppression and close
right.
range damage.
Okay.
And Vulcan's a straight up sniper bot.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go there. Okay, and then I'm going to use. The movement, I think, and because I'm here,
Yeah.
I can go to this position without doing a scout.
Yeah. You can't go here because you haven't scouted this area.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to use that for the move. Then I'm going to recon away the interference.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So you play the navigator.
Play the navigator.
So recon away
Recon away the
interference. Draw a card.
Draw an interference.
Yeah.
That's
So it's one way to go down
that's
there.
the way.
Okay. So I'm going to play survey tech to recon away the interference. Card. Then I'm going to play the survey tech to scout to there, which gets me another interference. Then I'm going to play the disruptor. So the disruptor has an area attack that hits both armored units and personnel
Come
units.
on, Paul.
No,
So we're going to use the disruptor
over
to
here.
attack.
Over here, surely. Over here. It's just tempting you. This massive
All that.
centurion. It's going. Hit
Yeah,
me,
no,
hit me,
we'll
hit
attack
me,
you.
hit
Yeah.
me, hit me.
So what I'm doing is I'm attacking this area. I'm hitting both of these, and I make a separate roll for each. So it's 3 dice. I'm rolling 10s,
7 to hit, right?
and this is a suppress. So on the Merc, it's 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
7's needed for the Merc. Yeah, got it. Got
Got
it. So
it.
the Merc is suppressed.
Right.
For Hades, that's got 5 armor. So again, 7's needed.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the Hades is suppressed. The Merc is suppressed. The Disruptor gets an extra Jaffa cake at the end of the scenario. And then I've got Nail Gunner C.
Ronin.
So Nail Gunner C is here. And Nail Gunners are great at suppressing because they've got 4 dice at suppressing.
Yeah.
But again, against personnel units only. And you can't suppress a unit that's already suppressed.
And this would gain +2, yeah.
That would gain +2 because it's
Covered.
hiding behind the legs of Cuddlebot 5000. I think we're just going to go for this Stalker here because I think that one is...
Yeah.
That one's 3 away.
And it's +1 now.
That one is only 2 away.
It's a tough.
Oh, and it's +1 as well.
Yeah,
so we're going to go for this one. I need 8s, but I'm rolling 4 dice.
Yep. Nice.
So Nail Gunner C at the same elevation. 4 dice, needing 8s. Got 1. That's enough.
Yes. Wow.
That was a good round.
That's a good round.
Gracious me.
That was a very good round.
Got all doors open. We suppressed a few fools.
We're almost at the prisoner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this, we're not bothered about this now, are we?
No,
We're done.
we don't care about that whatsoever. So
Run
what,
away!
so what I did on Sunday is I hunkered down with these
hunkering down,
units. Now,
yeah.
that's where the difference comes in. On Sunday, we played a 2-player game.
Yeah.
So in a 2-player game, you have 1 deck for all of the cards.
Yeah.
So by me hunkering down with these, it meant my deck was more full of
focusing there.
these. However, in a 4-player game, there's no point you hunkering down these
No,
because
'cause it
you
doesn't affect you.
exactly.
Yeah, do what,
So
do what I need
different
to.
different dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Rob.
Right, so I'll play a Stalker to wake up a Stalker.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Well
Then
done.
I'm going to tell Hayden that if he actually manages to land this shot, there's a bag of chips in it for him.
What'd
He
you
is
do?
going to fire at the Disruptor.
You don't
Yeah.
like the disruptor, do you?
So
No,
this
Disruptor's not
this
good.
Is an attack.
So it's
2 dice.
seven,
naughty.
eight. So one of the 8s.
Yeah, come on.
So hit.
Yes.
Yep.
Well done.
Well,
You
I
did
don't, have,
deserve one, mate,
Hayden,
to
you
be
having
honest.
chips tonight, mate?
I don't have anything in my hand. So disruptor, casualty.
I've got a few in there, though, haven't we?
They haven't actually neutralised any units yet. So that's the good thing.
Unfortunately, what I have is the drone, which there's no mechs to
You
inspire.
can't do it to inspire.
It inspires any of the mech cards. you don't have any mech cards in
Yeah,
play.
we've got a mech pile out.
So
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it does?
It can recon as
But-
well, but you don't have any
Yeah,
interference.
so it's
Next round.
No. You are the
I am
supervisor.
a supervisor. So we currently have the initiative.
We do.
3, 4.
That's suppressed. That's suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
That's not suppressed, but he's just played 2 of those cards. He's got quite a big deck, so I don't think
Unlikely.
that is going to be able to do it
Yeah.
in this turn. The Vulcan I'm a little worried about, but Paul hasn't. He's still got a few cards in his supply. This, I think, is going to cause a bit of a problem for you. I don't know if you want to stay there or bravely run away.
You mean distraction?
Yes. just run
Yeah,
around
no.
going, woo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look over here. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I played that.
Where are we? Where are we? We are going. Yeah. I think it's probably better to do that and go there and use that at this time.
Paul and I appreciate your support, Matt. I agree. We're definitely going to win.
Yeah, thanks. Matt. Okay.
5.
Always like you, Matt.
4.
Keep the initiative. Okay. So, Survey Tech is going to scout into here. So, we have now reached the space with the prisoner. What that means is whenever I move out of a space with the prisoner, I can get the prisoner to basically go with me.
Follow me.
So the prisoner has been rescued. I am then going to inspire Survey Tech, and we're going to scout to here.
Here
Take
we
the-
go.
I did. I'm now going to take another one. So I now have no interference cards left. What that means, I can now. I don't take any more interference.
Mm.
And then we've got Disruptor. Now,
Gracious me.
Oh, it's got 3 cards, this Disruptor. 14.
yes.
Yeah, you went for it.
So I am going to suppress, and I'm going to suppress this space here. So just as a reminder for everybody,
Yeah.
this is one space with the bridge
I realised it was the wrong way.
and the
really.
foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by targeting
It's in the
that
same
space,
Yeah.
Good
then
shot.
roll
Come on.
units.
Yeah. I was hoping
But I'm rolling
hoping you
d10s
didn't see
against
that.
this and d12s against this.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to roll them both at the same time. I might as well. We love the sound of 6 dice being rolled. So against the Artemis, I need 4, 5, 6.
Looks like
Yeah,
it.
all?
6. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And against the Vulcan,
7.
7.
Yeah.
So 6 is on the d10 and 7's on the d12.
So not on the
Well, I got the Artemis. So the
Yeah.
Artemis has been suppressed,
for the Vulcan safe.
but the Vulcan's hiding under the bridge.
Yeah.
The one that you had more odds of. rolling
Yes.
high. You didn't.
And that is me done, but I do have quite a few interference cards in my deck
Because you just did.
because I've
double.
just gained like 3. But
Yeah. Which will probably
I think-
become
I
a
think
problem
what we can do,
later.
It's just we're not going to be able to stop him, so it's just can we manage to kill 5 before he gets into the pod? We'll just otherwise we'll burn all our actions moving to there of him just
Yeah.
to run past. So
because you can't shoot through doorways,
yeah,
Well, the only way to do it would be to get in here.
even then
He's
just
gonna go
move through
straight.
you. Well, Paul will wait there until he has 2 security, 2 survey techs.
2
and
survey
then-
techs and then just
then
do
go
it on one
move.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
assuming I do.
Yeah.
I've been quite lucky so far
Yeah. No,
that I've either drawn 2 survey
the point.
techs or a survey
You
tech and a
just
squad
wait,
leader.
he's going to wait
Yeah.
for 2.
But you'll just wait.
You just
2.
wait for it.
You
There's
can
no
have
point.
this,
You can
use
just stay there as long as you
And
like.
So I see what you mean, and choose not to
And
move
choose
it.
not to move.
Yeah.
Just wait until you've drawn 2.
Because you can use this to purge.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the recon ability gets rid of the interference cards.
Yeah. This is the 3rd time I've played this scenario, and it's played out.
Very different.
Oddly enough, it's played out very differently each time we've played.
Differently.
But because you had these in here, I thought, well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah, losing, yeah.
let's try and open the 2 doors.
Using,
Yeah.
using that hurt us because now rather than
Now the
go all way
control,
back
you
through-
got all of that. Instead of going
Yeah,
back
you
that way, you just
could have
come
intercepted.
pop through
Yeah.
this way. And it's hard
The-
to get these off the deck because we're up on the deck.
Yeah.
The reason I thought of doing that is because I figured the designers had put in multiple ways for you
do
to
it,
play
yeah.
this scenario.
Yeah,
So I thought, well, let's go with that one because last time I tried this one.
yeah. Okay. Well, the Artemis is he's down anyway, isn't he? So I'll bring
Yeah,
up.
you have a whole bunch of suppressed units.
All I can really do is really bring up the Artemis with the Navigator.
So Artemis is
Is that
Yeah.
mine?
unsuppressed.
Then
Or you
I'll-
can recon out the interference from the cards. If that...
David
Well,
Digby's joined in. Hi,
could
David.
do
Thank you for joining in.
is-
Hello.
You could do it that way. Recon. Well, I was going to recon it out, but then I can't really do anything other than just bring it up. But I'm actually it's range 0. So yeah, do you mind if I do that? Leave him suppressed a moment.
Sure.
Would you mind?
Zip,
Okay.
what?
Power
Yeah.
down.
Okay. I'll willpower him up
With the commander.
commander.
Okay.
All right. But then I'll use the Navigator to recon
To get rid of that.
out the
Get rid of
interference.
that.
Card. Yeah.
And draw a card.
Draw a card. Draw an interference.
Always the way.
Just too many.
Me.
Up to you.
Because I started off thinning my deck right out. Just drew them all in.
Now gonna be.
Nail going to be. Where's
The
Nail
new
going to be?
unit.
New unit.
Boo-boo.
Let's come out the pub.
Hello. What's going on here, boys?
No, we're fine. You can go back.
Yeah, we need your escape pod because you can escorting this guy all the way back round here to your escape pod.
Yeah. So
Move, attack, or suppress.
there's not really lots of options. Suppress is probably the best thing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's
Anything that slows them down.
Get in there.
trouble is though,
It's
that'd be a 7, 8, 9. Can't do that. It's elevated.
It's slow, and he's on the scout for me first.
Likewise, that's going to be
That's a
an
problem.
8. But suppress on an 8 with 4
Maybe
dice.
move it to here for future.
Yeah, I've already got one in there. Oh, I've got Blaster in there.
Yeah.
So I could just go and try and suppress 4 dice and hopefully I get an 8,
So it would be 6,
7, 8
7, 8.
on
Yeah.
on the red dice.
It's 4 dice.
It's a punt, but let's do it.
It's a bit of a punt.
Yeah. Yeah,
Got it.
Oh,
that's a luck.
whoosh.
And that's me.
Okay.
Interference.
Okay, so I'll play 1 navigator to power up to break the suppression.
Nice.
1 navigator to scout forward 1. Moving him to here.
Yeah. So getting you interference.
Yep. Do an interference.
So there.
Yeah, over here.
Hades.
And then I'll bring my Merc back online as well.
Right.
Everybody done?
Yep.
Next round, am I still the...
You're still the supervisor.
3, 4.
Draw 1.
Important to remember, of course, is this is the first act of the film, so of course the bad guys are.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we get a reprise in the sequel.
This gets off the rest of the plot. You know, otherwise there'll be if the good guys won off the bat, there'll be no real tension being set
No,
up. So
it's the elephant strikes back, is it?
Right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Do here. What can we do here?
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Where's he? So I could do that followed by that, which is not too bad. It's not too bad. And then use this to make sure that we get that off. This could do something. Can't shoot through there. Okay, I'm going to make sure we do that.
4.
9.
So you're using your captain as...
I am using the captain to
Well.
make sure.
You have the initiative, sir.
So that will go to you in a moment.
Yeah,
We'll do that after
yeah,
you.
stays there for now.
Okay, so we are going to use the Merc. Why? Murky.
Merc.
Okay, to attack. Now then,
The Merc who's hiding behind the legs of the Centurion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Peekaboo.
I think he's only got 1 skill. How many? Are we allowed to look at this?
I think so. I think cards in the supply are common knowledge.
2.
You got, but you'll have to know how many's in this scenario.
I'll have to know how many in the scenario, wouldn't I? Yeah, okay. Right.
That would be public knowledge, I think.
Should be, yeah.
Hewer.
So what you're looking at? Scanner A.
haven't killed a Hewer, have we?
There's 1 in the deck and 2 in supply.
1 in the deck and 2 in supply.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we might go for scanner. So Mike's going to attack the scanner. Yeah, this is 5, 6.
Look, Matt, every story needs
7.
a good villain, otherwise it's just rather dull. You know?
We're just cuddling each other.
One
It'll
dice.
just be
one
fluffy bunnies
D10
in
7.
cuddling, and who wants that?
Thank you.
So the Merc is trying to attack
The
Scanner.
the
scanner.
scanner.
7.
Hit on 7, is it?
6, 7.
If you hit it, he's dead.
Well, it's by 1.
Oh!
By the look of
Right,
the
Sergeant says, do it again, boy.
So inspire Y,
Inspire
and then play Y again. He's going to go for it
He's
again.
going to shoot him. He's going to
Surely
get him
he
this
can't
time.
miss
Surely it's
twice.
4 shots at the same guy, right? Surely one of these beams is going to hit him. Just going to scythe him down like this.
No.
Yeah, like that. Yes.
Like, just like that.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Scanner's like, what? What's going on?
Yeah, just looking around.
Sat there,
What's this stuff? It's just whizzing past all the time. Right, the gunner.
The gunner of the Artemis.
Now, he can't attack because it's only range 0, but
But he
I
does
can
have to
try a
suppress.
suppress. Now, who can I suppress? It would be great if I could suppress this guy.
Yeah.
But it's way too much.
He's hiding.
Yeah, so,
Yes.
what have we got? What have we
Should that be
got?
yours?
Um,
They will be at the end. Yeah.
I think the disruptor is really what we need to
Okay,
stop. Isn't
so
it? 'Cause disruptor
3
can
dice.
just suppress these two, isn't it?
It's
3,
5,
Different areas
6,
now, so, but
yeah,
yeah.
5,
seven,
6,
still
7, 8.
disruption.
It's at 8, isn't it? Yeah.
8 needed.
Oh, you got one.
You've got one.
The disruptor is disrupted.
Good. Okay. That's
Any
me.
more?
And then you get that. That's me done. Thank you.
Okie dokies. Well, this might win us the game.
Wow. Really?
So I'm going to play the supervisor and draw 2 cards.
Ah,
Oh, yes. Nice.
Oh.
Very nice.
Does it win you the game?
Oh. No.
Yep. I'm going to play survey tech to recon away an interference.
Oh.
2 draw guard.
And then I'm going to play Ripper C.
Rip, I see.
And Ripper C is
Quite
going
close.
to
Quite close.
Ripper C is going to hunker down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Get
Yeah,
rid.
it's in the deck.
And then
2 influences. Oh,
that goes to you. Goes to you.
it's quite a lot of experience. isn't it? Yeah.
I'm going
It's
to
gonna be
play
close.
drone recon to burn that interference.
Nice.
Think about that one.
Yeah,
Stone.
yeah.
And draw a card.
Draw a card. Of course.
You just feel this guy hiding in the wings, going like in the wings, don't you?
Now,
With his gun.
not
like,
yet, not
going
yet, don't
like
go
this.
yet.
He's
Don't
just
go
saying,
yet.
just
Yeah.
wait, just wait,
Yeah.
just wait, just wait your time, wait your time.
Here.
Oh. So the Hades
Wow.
come down here.
But
Okay.
his weapon's really short range.
Yeah.
And then that gets me another interference.
That's one of these.
Cool. And then I will bolster. More mercs.
We'll need to give Rob the commander token,
Done.
which he has
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
that was what
yeah,
we did.
done that.
So technically, by the rules, you only give the token over when the card enters the discard pile.
Player.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
the card as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
For your worst.
Hmm.
Can we do anything about this Hades? Do we need to do anything about it?
Potentially. Yeah. I can do something about that.
Okay.
Hades. Can move in and attack
Oh,
it.
go for it.
Yeah.
Just seeing what you've got.
So,
So Blaster,
Blaster
A
move in.
comes down from here, climbs down the ladder,
Huzzah!
walks across here. He's now in the same space as the Hades. Because
Oof.
the Blaster can attack an armoured unit, but only at range 0.
Yeah.
Come on.
3 dice.
3 dice, needing
Wow,
5s.
10. Yeah.
Go on then.
Gracious me.
What do we need? 5.
5s.
Oh, there.
Yes.
So you have to remove 1 H card. So it can be any H card. If you find more than
I'll
1,
remove that.
you can choose
Navigator.
which one to remove.
Okay.
Goes as a casualty.
Yep. Okay, but I'm still going.
Now gonna be.
Still going.
Now going to be is here.
Yeah. I might move them up.
Yeah.
Let's get ready.
Okay.
Just in case.
Are we all done?
Yep.
We are all done. Next round.
Oh,
3 cards on there.
What we got? One of them.
Oh, beg your pardon. I'll do 3.
Right, initiatives. That's a burn. We have initiative. Off you go, sir.
Bum, ba, da, bum. Right.
Do. No, I can't.
Let's just have some fun.
You are A. What's he going to do?
Slice.
He can attack 2
Yeah.
at range 0.
Stalker's gonna get it.
Stalker has got
that's
7
7,
defense. But,
Well, what else are you gonna do?
yeah, exactly. 2 dice needing a 7. Got 1.
Oh,
Stalker,
Stalker
why?
Y.
So it wasn't in your hand,
Card in hand.
but that's
There's nothing in your discard
Yeah,
pile.
it's dead, isn't it?
pretty sure he's gone.
Yeah, because you've only got the one. You've already taken a hit before.
So there's nothing in your deck for Stalker Y?
No.
Okay. Stalker Y has been neutralised. Here, which means we remove all of the Stalker Y cards
Finish him.
from the supply. It's gone.
Alright, then I'll do squad leader and I will bolster some scanners because I know what you're up to. I'll bolster at least one. And tell you what, let's put both of them to protect them. And then
Okay.
So first things first, I'm going to scout to move one with the Centurion. Just too late to save him, but he's now moved into here.
Yeah, nice.
uh-oh.
Oh,
Big boy.
and then I'll attack point blank range to attack the Hewer.
Yeah.
2 dice.
You don't
So
like him, do you?
It's just 2 dice, is it?
Just 2 dice. So it's
I
needing.
thought he was really
Needing
good at.
5.
Oh, he's more of a
Okay.
defensive
Yeah.
thing.
That, there, that one.
Mobile
the
wall.
Centurion, the
Yeah.
Centurion is. Wow.
Oh.
Point blank. This is just no.
Just
No dice.
no.
Lasers
Just
are
no.
just going nowhere.
Then my Stalker Sjorberg will pop up and unlock, and that's it. Because it's just
Dice.
We'll
The dice gods.
we'll
have you one.
we'll pop out
Yeah, they won.
and then we'll pop out.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, there you go.
Well done.
We rescued the prisoner falsely arrested for
The crimes they don't commit.
crimes they did not
No.
commit, and we got them out.
Attempted murder. What kind of
Yeah,
crime
what
is
was
that?
that all about?
Now, it may have looked like we won this scenario easily. We've played this scenario once before.
Yep.
You two had a dry run of this scenario earlier on. We are not experts at this scenario whatsoever. I have confidence that the designers and the playtesters have playtested this scenario so that it is balanced and it is fair. So just take that into account if it did look a bit one-sided. We're also awesome.
Yeah. Team awesome.
Team awesome. And we did get lucky with the dice, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
To be
Yeah,
fair.
You
But
did
yeah,
miss a lot.
it was interesting how differently it played out to
I think
The
go
practice game
again. One thing we could do is just say, right, we need to be here
Yeah.
because then we can defend these,
Flank them.
all right, and then start hitting, especially knowing that this C deck is so powerful.
That's very that is very powerful. I mean, this time we weren't grouped up and getting shot with
No,
none of those.
we didn't get disrupted. So yeah,
But I think we have a bit of a luck that you're sort of getting the 2 cards you needed in the draw
Yeah.
out of 3 cards.
That was very
but
lucky.
my deck is
it's all C's.
Oh no,
my
less
deck is so small.
that one you'd work.
Yeah.
With. It was like over here, managing just to happen to get the 2. In
Yeah, I managed to get a few,
and then
bolstered a
just
few
stone
viewers
it
in
those
there early.
shots, just not.
But if you hadn't
Just
have
not
opened the door when you did, you'd have just opened it then.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
as long
You
as
can
we
just
opened
open it and then go straight
those
through.
two
Just
before I
wait
moved.
for it. Yeah.
I think the bulk will be very much just up there and pouring in firepower.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
just
No, I think you're right. Yeah,
So-
I was thinking of. I'm trying to get it to there, then shooting here when
it's
it's in
still
there.
gonna
But
matter
is it going to do
because
too?
you just
Yeah.
do
I didn't
two
realise how
through,
powerful getting control is because it's really hard to
So-
lose it. You've got to get rid of that.
Yeah,
unit.
so one of my things with all of the other Undaunted games, and probably a lot of the scenarios in this game, is control is really important.
Yeah.
Because many of the scenarios actually have objective points on the map. And the whole point of the game is that you've got to control those areas to get those points. And in this scenario was very different. So I'm glad we've played this scenario, but I am keen to look at some of the other scenarios because it's a lot more, controlling a space is a lot more important in the other scenarios than it was in this one.
Yeah.
The only reason for controlling a space in this one is
Control the
purely
doors.
here, and it's purely to open the doors. So yeah, that's scenario 5. Now, how long did I say this stream would be tonight? An hour and a half. Add another half an hour for explanation.
Mhm.
It's been an hour and 20 minutes.
That's
So
true.
if we weren't explaining the game to people watching, we'd have played this in just over an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Now, I think it was shorter. It could have gone longer. If things had have worked out different, it would have gone longer. But this certainly isn't a long game. Now, this was a sponsored video. Again, thank you very much to Osprey Games for sponsoring this video, which means you're not going to get any opinions from us on this game. We are going to go downstairs, have a cup of tea, and we are going to talk about it. But what I will say is that it is a commonly known fact that I love team games. So there are a number of content creators out there who, whenever they're playing any kind of team game, say, the team game is rubbish, it's a two-player game, don't bother playing it as a team game. I always disagree with them. Every game that has an opportunity to play as a team mode, I instantly like a lot better. So that's my personal feelings on team games. But remember, you can play each of these scenarios as a two-player game. We played it two-player, and it worked just as well.
Yep.
You just have one deck that you're controlling. And there is the solo mode as well. And I'm not going to go into the details of the solo mode here, but it's a David Digby and David Turtsey designed solo mode. It's quite complex, and the reason for that is you can play either side, I believe, in the solo mode, and each AI opponent, there isn't a generic set of rules that control how a solo game works. Each scenario has got specific details for each enemy unit of exactly what that enemy unit is trying to do. That must have taken them absolutely ages. And although that level of solo mode is outside of my comfort zone, because it's quite complex, it's very well done and it's very detailed, and you actually feel that you're playing against a human opponent. So I don't know the solo mode for this scenario, but I would guess the AI rules for Survey Tech C would be you are trying to go here and open the door. If the door is already open, you go here. It would be basically following the same thought patterns as a human player would. So yeah, this game can be played 1 player, 2 player, 4 player. I don't think there are 3-player rules for this game. If there are,
I didn't see it.
then yeah, so it's a 1, 2, or 4-player game.
4.
I guess you could play 3 players with one.
One controlling
Sure.
both
Well,
decks.
you could.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's in the rulebook or not, but there you go.
Nothing stopping you, is there? Doing a dual hand.
Thanks very much
No.
for everybody for joining me. Thank you very
No
much to
problem.
everybody who's been joining us live, and hello to everybody who's watching this video back later on. The reason why I do these videos, as well as it being my job, is that I want to help you make a decision about whether this is the kind of game for you. Whether you are an Undaunted fan who was looking to see what was different in this game, or whether you're brand new to the Undaunted series and you didn't like the World War II setting, but you fancied this. I hope this has helped you work out whether it's the kind of game for you. And if it has, great, let me know. Thanks very much for everybody, and we'll see you all next time.
See you later.
Bye.